Well, if you've got kids in college like we do, you know how expensive it can be to feed them. Well, one good way that you can send some quality venison down to them is actually to can it. So they can actually microwave up a little bit of this canned venison meat, pour it over bread, and it's a good way to put some of that good protein into your kids. So I'm no expert here on canning products, so I've got my wife here, Sherry, who cans all the stuff from our garden, and she's going to show us how it's done. So I've got all the meat here trimmed out. What do we need to do? What's left?
Well, the first thing we have to do is prepare this by cutting off this connective tissue, the silver skin.
Right down here too. So.
Well, now that we have Mr. Know-It-All out of the road, we can begin cutting this into 1-inch cubes to prepare it for canning. Okay, the first thing you want to do is add whatever kind of seasonings you like. Some people like minced garlic. I prefer a tablespoon of minced onion and 1 beef bouillon cube. The next step is to begin packing your jars. You want to make sure that you pack these tight. I use a wooden spoon or plastic spoon. You want to make sure that you push that down and squeeze out as much air as possible. And you want to leave about 1/2 inch at the top of the jar. Because we've trimmed this meat really well, and wild game meat tends to be dry, you add a little bit of water to each jar. Take your spoon handle, just let it go down inside there. Next, you'll take a damp paper towel and wipe off the top of each lid. So when you can these, they'll all seal for you. So you got to clean that lid and make sure there's no dirt particles, pieces of meat that's going to break the seal of your jar. Next, you take lids that you have boiled in water for about 3 minutes. You got to heat up these rings plus sanitize them. Next, you'll screw on your rings nice and tight. Now we're going to place our jars in the bottom of our can cooker, and we're going to fill the can cooker with water just to about 1/2 inch above the top of our jars. Alright, our jars are all in there. We're going to put our lid on our can cooker and seal it. We'll turn our fire on to a medium heat until we start to have steam come out of the top of the hole of the can cooker. Then you'll turn it to low for about 1.5 hours. I know everyone is very busy nowadays, so if you don't have time to finish, or you have some leftover, you can always put it in the vacuum bag and put it in the freezer until you have more time to work on it. We've let our venison cook for 1.5 hours in the can cooker. Shut off the stove, let it cool down. Now we're going to finish let it cool. As you can see, they've already sealed, and we're ready to send our venison off to college.